Hello, everyone. Todd Smatala here with the APFA technology team. We're going to look at a use case scenario number 3 for the coverage needed dashboard. In this case, we're going to look up a particular seniority, and more accurately, a seniority range, to see what the coverage needed dates are looking like around the system. So the first thing that we want to do is reset our dashboard. Click the reset there and click the month to reset the month, and then hit today just to bring it back up. Now we've got a fresh dashboard. We can start adding in our filters as needed. So we have a seniority option here. So we're going to look up my seniority here. According to my last CN date, I had a seniority of 15,986 when I had that one. So I want to kind of see what's going on around the system for that seniority. So the first thing we're going to want to do is select a seniority. All right, so if I click on here, I can drop it down and find the exact seniority. And most people are going to want to do this, but I'm going to tell you that's not the way to do it, and you'll see why very, very quickly here. So if we look at 15,986, we got to flip all the way down here. Okay, 15,986. So if I click on this one, this is not any different really than choosing my employee ID number. It's just going to show me what's going on at that particular seniority. But I want to see what's happening to everyone senior to me, right? I know everyone, if I had it, I know everyone junior to me had it as well. But I'm curious about how senior this went. So in order for that to work, you have to also select, and you're going to do this by hitting Command and then clicking as well, all of the others that are senior to you. So you can see immediately why it's not so efficient to do this by selecting an exact seniority. You can if you want to, but it's best if you scroll on up here. But it's best if you just select a seniority range. So I'm going to reset this form again and go over on seniority. I'm going to select this entire range of 15,000 to 17,000. That way I can also select everything senior to me. And I know this is kind of a pain in the butt, right? But we're working on trying to make this a little more user-friendly for you. But it's December coming up, so we wanted to make sure that as much of this is out there for those that want to use it for the coverage needed days that are coming up in December, right? So that's the way you'd have to do it. You'd have to select, if you're going to search by seniority, you have to select that range of seniority, yours specifically if you want to, or the range that you're looking for, as well as all of the seniorities above it for you to really get the accurate information, right? So we've done that now, and we can see what's going on here. Now, the next step is to really choose the date range, right? I could look for the entire past year. I can look for November. Maybe I'm thinking of switching bases and I want to just see how things look at other bases. So let's do that. I'm going to look at November. Okay. So then we have to click back over here to go to November of 2022. Okay, on November 2022, I can see off the bat, this is the seniority range across the system. It went up to 7359 here. And if I'm wondering more about where that is, I can look down here in the details. This is where the magic really comes in of using all three of these different views. Okay, when you're looking at seniority, when you're researching through seniority, you can dig much deeper, right? You can find lots of information out here, but you also have the potential of messing things up a little bit if you don't select all of those that are senior to you as well. So right now we're looking at this seniority right here. They're in Dallas. But let's say I'm not really thinking about going to Dallas. I'm kind of debating between Chicago. We can simultaneously select other ones, Philly, and let's see, maybe Miami. Okay, right away we see, why is there no Miami here? Well, we don't have anyone in that seniority range in Miami that has had CN days in November. And just so you can compare, I've reset everything and I'm looking just at Miami for November of 2022. And we can see this was our most senior was at 18,000. And the range I was looking at when I was looking at just seniorities was up to 17,000. So that's why Miami didn't even appear as one of the options. There weren't any for that month. Okay, so here we are back to that range of seniorities, 15,000 to 17,000. And we're going to look at, maybe I want to just kind of compare these bases, what's going on in Chicago, Philly, and LaGuardia for November of 2022. Okay, we have some here, and I can see over here, this seniority, Philly was hitting it right here at this seniority. Chicago started hitting it here. I can click on here as well to see what was the highest seniority. It was 94.64. And clear that out by clicking month. So this gives me an idea. So again, maybe I'm not really thinking about Philly then. So maybe I want to compare it with, I can just remove Philly and look at Chicago versus LaGuardia. Right here, Chicago was having it, but LaGuardia wasn't too far behind. You see that Chicago had it at 11,988. Chicago had it at 11,988, and LaGuardia had it at 12,446, just to give you an idea. So that's one way to kind of use seniority, a range of seniority with a date. You can select multiple bases. So one of the things I want to really hammer across is that it is possible to use more than one. You can select more than one option here. You can look at June. You use Command and click on the Mac or Control click on a PC, and you can click multiple months to have a look and see what's going on now. And you can compare. Now, it would actually be really important to do this in one month in particular, right? In February, because what you're looking at there is a calendar, but a month like February is using a bid month for that, and that's going to include the last day of January as well as the first day of March in there. So you're going to want to look over here in February. We need to include this day as well as this day. So we would need to click for January as well as March in there to really get the proper idea of what our February bid month requirements are. See, this is going to be a CN day for someone, as well as the March one, you can see. Okay, so that's really it for the coverage needed dashboard. There's some really easy ways to use it, and most common use cases. You might want to look up your own CN days, see what's going on there, what your history was, or you may want to see what last year's November was like before you bid for this year's November days, or December, something like that, or you're just kind of wondering if you've changed bases, how things are looking. Those are the easiest cases. Now, if you're a data geek like me and you want to really get in there, you can start looking by seniorities. You can look across several months at different seniorities, at different bases. There's lots that you can do with this, so I hope you enjoy it.